what's up everyone, this is Silver Reploid CLE. How are you guys doing, YouTube? That's right, the Silver Reploid coming to you live looking fresh in the flesh on the next stream on stream with another review from yours truly. And before I get started with today's review, I just want time to say, hope you guys have a very excellent weekend. And of course, hope you enjoyed last night's live stream. If you haven't seen the highlights, they'll be shown after this video. You can check that out. And this was something I have not done in a long time because, well, it has been like a few weeks since I did a review video for you guys regarding RWBY, the series. I reviewed chapter 1 for you guys, so now it's time to review a few videos since it's been a long time. To make it to you, I decided to do 2 videos this time because, well, since they were short, I decided to take advantage of this and, of course, remember what I remember from the 2 videos that I've watched on Rooster Teeth. Okay, so on the previously on RWBY, Yang Xiaolong, the big sister of Ruby Rose, have arrived at Shining Beacon. They were heading to Shining Beacon despite the Vomit Boy, and of course, he was also featured first at the second episode of the RWBY series, and of course, well, they arrive at the Shining Beacon, Yang Xiaolong, Ruby Rose, and of course the Black Silhouettes as usual. Okay, so as they arrived at the Shining Beacon, in other words, Yang Xiaolong and Ruby Rose have made it there, and of course, Ruby Rose was a little excited because she saw the new weapons that the people had at that institute or school to train to become huntresses to fight monsters. As Ruby Rose got a little enthusiastic, Yang Xiaolong then said that she had friends, and of course, she ditched Ruby Rose, her little sister, with her friends, and of course, left her spinning off course. And of course, Ruby Rose fell on Weiss-Schnee's luggage, and of course, that's when they first met each other. Because, well, it was a very negative start for Weiss-Schnee, because, well, she was like criticizing her about the luggage that was badly damaged, and of course, she had like this luggage, right, full of these things that look like potions from the Legend of Zelda series. Okay, so as she was like going crazy, and of course, well, not basically just crazy, she was like shaking the bottles, the elements, fire, ice, etc, 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 and of course, it tickled Ruby Rose's nose, and of course, she started to sneeze, causing an explosion, and of course, things got a little silent as she did that. And after that, a girl named Blake Belladonna, she appeared, and of course, the culmination from Weiss-Schnee and Ruby Rose went down a little bit, even though Ruby Rose was apologetic for the pandemonium that she had caused. Well, not basically just pandemonium, but just a little mishap. So after that, Weiss-Schnee split apart, and of course, Blake Belladonna split apart at the Institute, leaving Ruby Rose by herself, and of course, she knelt to her knees, and of course, lay back on the concrete ground, closing her eyes until this boy named John Ark, the guy that was vomiting, came to her, helping her up. They were walking around the fountain, and of course, they were talking about how people can actually forge their weapons. Well, that was what Ruby Rose said to Yang Xiaolong about forging weapons of their own. Like, they can make swords, and of course, scythes like she had, shotgun, I mean the rifle. That's what she said to John Ark. And of course, many of you are probably curious what the inside of my katana looked like. Well, here it is. This is my katana from Blue Exorcist. It is so freaking awesome, man. I love how I'm holding the thing. All the more reason to consider myself a sword fan, aka a katana fan in other words. I also love lightsabers and stuff, but we're talking about some RWBY's franchise right now. One more look at my sword, and we shall move on. Okay, so back where Ruby Rose met John Ark, the guy that was vomiting a lot, and prior to when they were like walking around the fountain, she straight up asked, "Are you the guy that was vomiting on the ship?" And I was like, that is a very good question. And as they were walking around talking about weapons and stuff at the Beacon Academy, she showed him her weapon, the scythe, the crescent. Well, they were talking about names, and she was talking about she could call him. She was considered a crater because of the explosion from back there. And I forgot what. I think it was Crescent Rose, her scythe, the name of her weapon, the Crescent Rose. Yes, I think that's it. But it's still a scythe with the sniper rifle capability, a gun, and it's pretty insane. And John Ark then showed her his weapon, which is a sword. And of course, he got a shield that changes size, which is crazy. But that shield looked like some kind of sword set to put a sword on, which is kind of cool because, well, in this series, this is a lot awesome because you have a weapon that can actually transfigure into any form, like have new features and stuff. Capabilities. And after that, they continue forth trying to find a place to dwell, like the food court, etc, 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 landmark, blah 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 blah. And of course, they head to the ceremony like any other ceremony on the first day of the academy, and they saw and of course, Ruby Rose split paths with John Arc, and he was looking for a quirky girl who was very calm and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. Okay, so Ruby Rose then meet up with Yang Zhao Long once again, and of course, she was kind of ticked off at her because she fled. She left her alone at the center of the beacon, outside of the beacon, because she had friends, and of course, she told her about the story of where she came across Weiss Schnee, and of course Weiss was behind her, scaring her when she was like, "You!" And of course she complained about the explosion that she composed back there, and of course she showed her this flyer about the Schnee Dust Company. She went blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and so on, and then she gave her the flyer and told her not to talk with her ever again. And after that, the ceremony commenced with two speakers, the Huntress from before the previous episode, well, not the previous episode, but episode before last, and of course the professor who gave her the cookies in the interrogation room, and she told him that she wanted to become a Huntress. She dreamed to become one, that is. And after the ceremony, they were designated to their ballroom to get ready for the training in the morning. And let me tell you, the ballroom, the dormitories, it's kind of odd. Personally, I prefer the dormitories from Blaze Blue. You know, like from the academy, the NOL academy at Torafune, if you know what I mean. Ruby Rose was like riding something to her gang back at the place she said it was. I forgot what it was. And of course, she still met a Yang Zhao Long. And of course, they came across Blake Belladonna, who was reading a book. And trust me, she was book. And of course, they came across Blake Belladonna, who was reading her book at night. And trust me, she was so focused on reading the book. And of course, she wanted them to leave. And of course, they made acquaintances. But you know, this is like any other franchise, like any other series where they like start from the bad start. And of course, when time has passed, they become good. They have negative friends and stuff like that, but then they change from negative to positive. Some do, but that's just how it goes when it comes to life. And of course, Yang Zhao Long and Ruby Rose had a little commotion going on in that room that night, and of course Weiss Schnee was freaking out, saying that they're trying to sleep, and you're like, "Not you again!" So after that, they fulminated throughout the night, and that was it. So yep, it's starting to get a lot interesting. I know you guys might say that I should have done this a long time ago, ever since it came out. Monty Ohm did a very great job with these creations of the characters, the features of the weapons, and of course the music and stuff. He really did a great job with this stuff. And Rooster Teeth, special thanks to you for bringing this to YouTube, making all this happen, the RWBY Chibi and of course the RWBY series. Not to mention, they did show a little bit of RWBY Chibi at the beginning where Ruby Rose got excited when she saw the weapons from other people, and that was pretty adorable and of course funny as well, because well, she got too excited. Many people can get excited, just, well, maybe some might get overexcited on certain things that they see that fascinates them, but hey, that's what happens. So anyway guys, that concludes this review. Sorry it's been a long time since I did the review of RWBY, because well, I've been very busy with other things. I had a lot of requests going on, and of course I had a lot of stuff going on in college, so at least I got the time right now to give you guys this review video real quick so I can go ahead and get with the vlog. In the next video, I'll be talking about FameBit, one of the most craziest yet legitimate sponsors on the net that can help creators online and of course brands be successful online. That'll be taking place on the next video, so hope you guys will stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed this review as well, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more content. Make sure you follow my social media links in the description. Don't forget to join my community in the description. Don't forget to share because care. Like, comment, favorite. More videos to come soon. This is Super Reploid CLE. I live your Reploids to the fullest, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Now this one's really an interesting level for me. Alright, ability, but watch this.